everybody, it's Chris Ease, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. Still stuck inside, obviously. And it's funny because when this started, I thought, oh great, I'm working from home. That means that, like, I can get up at my regular, I don't have to get up early if I want to try to play Ring Fit and work out before work. I can get up at my normal time and I can fit in my workout anyway because I don't have to commute to the office. That worked for a couple of days, and then this past week, nothing. I just was not motivated to do any kind of activity like that. So I did not play Ring Fit for quite a while. But then there was an update which made me curious, so I thought I would check out the new additions to the game. It's a free update, so if you have Ring Fit, you automatically now have these new options in the menu. First there's they give you an optional female voice for the Ring character. I don't know if it's any less annoying sounding, maybe. But I kind of have grown attached to the annoying guy, so I'm not going to try to switch it. But they've added a new rhythm game, which has you either working your core by pressing the ring against your abs, or working your arms by pressing and pushing and pulling the ring in front of you and tilting side to side and whatever. And basically what happens is you pick a song, and there are songs from Ring Fit, and then they also have a couple songs from Super Mario World, and there's a Breath of the Wild medley, there's a Splatoon medley, and a Wii Fit medley. And so basically what happens is the music plays, and there are these little ring symbol things that slide down the screen at you, and then you squeeze the ring or pull the ring or whatever appropriately, and sometimes you hold it, whatever, and you do that in time with the music. And it's pretty fun. It's very basic, but it does get you moving, and like the Ring Fit adventure game, it kind of disguises the fact that you're moving and working out with a game to distract you. So I like that, as opposed to just doing the exercises, which is an option, but I don't usually do that because I find that to feel more like a workout, and I don't want it to feel like a workout. The other option that they added is a jogging mode, which in my mind I'm like, oh great, so it'll be like, pick a distance, you know, I want to run for 1 mile or 3 miles, or I want to run for time, I want to run for 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, and it'll just like generate a course for you and you can just run through with the pretty trees and everything. No. It turns out that what it is it basically gives you a course, and it says here are some courses that you can choose from, and there's only like a half a dozen or so, and you basically move through the course just minus enemies and distractions. But what it means is some of the courses, like I did the first course, like the beginner course, which was just run for like a minute, and then it was like, okay. And I said, well, let me try it. Like the longest course was like 7 or 8 minutes long. And I thought, okay, well, at least I can run for 7 or 8 minutes. That's something. But the problem with that one was it was very long because you run for a little bit and then you have to do like the lean side to side as you go down the track, or you run for a bit and then you have to do some squats to jump on the platforms. And I'm just like, no, I want jogging. I just want to run for a prolonged period of time for cardio. And even though it says that you can go into the custom mode where you can string together your favorite exercises to make a custom workout, you can string together your favorite running courses, but I'm like, you're still only going to run for like a couple of minutes and then stop, and then a couple minutes and stop. And then even while you're running, you're going to just stop and do squats or pull or hang or lean or whatever the random thing is that interrupts the actual running. So I think that unless they decide to do that, what I talked about, which was generate a random course through the woods and run for a certain period of time, I'm going to have to find another way. Because I'm not running outside. I see people running outside. I don't even like walking outside because the sidewalks in Brooklyn are still pretty crowded and people are not keeping their distance. And it's really annoying. And like, I hold my breath when I walk past people just in case they might cough. And, I don't want that. So the people who are running, I'm like, you are running, you are breathing heavily through your mouth, deeply and heavily you are breathing. And I don't know what's out there in the air, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to do what I did with Wii Fit, which turned out to be really good. And I just won't use Wii Fit to actually do it, to track the time or anything. I'll just do it myself. But I'll just put on a TV show and stand in my living room and run in place in my living room while I watch TV, because that seemed to work before. And I would like to drop a few pounds. So, and it's hard to stay active when you're cooped up in your house all day. One thing that is keeping my sanity during this time is Animal Crossing. Thank goodness for Animal Crossing, because I can escape to my island and distract myself with all kinds of random activities. And one of the fun ones that I uncovered this past week was Harv came for a visit. If you played New Leaf, you might recognize him. He was the guy that ran the little campground and sold the rare items. Now, he has a special little island nearby, which thankfully doesn't cost any Nook tickets to get to. It's free. And he runs a slightly creepy looking photo studio in a log cabin. There's multiple rooms, but it's kind of weird and empty. And you can basically set it up with any furniture that you've collected and create like a little scene. And then you can have, you can use Amiibo to bring models in. So I was very excited, and as soon as I got there, I was like, oh my god, yes! And I immediately went to my Amiibo cards, and I pulled out my Amiibo cards for my 4 BFFs from my New Leaf town, and did a cute little picture with them, and it was wonderful. Except then, afterwards, it was kind of weird and creepy because they're just there as models. Like, they don't even talk to you. You can't interact with them at all. You just pose them, and then they'll do an emote if you tell them to, but, like, they don't talk or anything, so it's kind of weirdly creepy. Although, after you use your Amiibo to bring any Animal Crossing character, either a card or the actual Amiibo, to bring a character into the photo studio to take a picture with them, then afterwards you can then spend 1,000 bells to order a poster of that character. So of course I immediately ordered a Lopez poster to hang over my bed, so I can have my boyfriend with me, even though he's not actually in the game. That's not an option yet, to use Amiibo to bring characters to the island proper. But I'm sure it will be eventually. It's still a slow build. And I have slowed down myself because there is the initial rush of activity and building buildings and getting museums set up and getting the store set up and getting houses set up and inviting people to stay and all that sort of thing. But, like, I have sort of slowed down my gameplay because doing all that fishing and farming of supplies and crafting supplies and all, like chopping the wood and getting the ore and whatever, like, you go through your tools really quickly. And if you do too much fishing, your fishing rod keeps breaking and it's really annoying, and then you've got to make a new one, and then you've got to upgrade the flimsy one to the regular one, just so and it's a procedure and it's annoying. So I've kind of eased back on that sort of thing, because then my tools won't break as often and it won't be as irritating. So I've kind of eased back on the grinding, because grinding is just not a good gameplay mechanic to begin with. It's almost as bad as breakable weapons. Like, I would put breakable weapons and tools at the top, then I would put escort missions, and then grinding maybe would be my third most hated gameplay element. But grinding and escort missions are really fighting for second place there. But I've also decided that I want to, now that I have a proper town hall, and I can start to build my town properly, I want to start to build bridges and slopes in order to make every area of the island completely accessible. And so to do that, you need bells. So I've decided to not worry about my own house. I expanded it, but I'm not going to add rooms because I want to build my town and not my house. I'll worry about my house later. But I've had visitors to my town, and I've also visited other towns. I visited one town where this person, it was insane. He had his complete house completely built with every room. It's like fully expanded. He has all kinds of crazy furniture, all kinds of crazy wallpaper and floors, and I'm just like, where did you get all this? It's literally been like 2 weeks. Like, where did you get all of this stuff? Like, this is insane. And then he has all kinds of bridges and everything, and it's like, it's crazy, because it's like, that must have cost a fortune. And I'm like, where did you get all these bells? And then I don't know if he did anything sketchy, or if he just traded with people who did things that were sketchy. But I just, like, I was jealous, but then at the same time, I'm like, it's fine. Like, because part of me is like, I want all these things. But then the other part of me is like, it's okay. Like I always say, Animal Crossing is a marathon, not a sprint. So take your time, enjoy the slow build. That's what Animal Crossing is. You play it for a little bit each day, and I will eventually get cool things. I will eventually build up my town. I will eventually have more bells so that I can build my house and add more rooms. I don't really have furniture to put in those rooms right now, so I don't really care. But yeah, it's like, I'm okay with it. I'm trying to be okay with it. I'm still a little jealous, to be honest, but, you know, I'm still enjoying it, aside from the breakable weapons. And like I said, it's really wonderful to escape to the island and distract yourself with, you know, fishing and bug catching and finding fossils and building the museum and all whatever. And then you can also use the online to invite your friends over or go to their islands. And thankfully most people do seem to be using the voice chat now, so I can like literally just sit and hang out with my friends virtually with Animal Crossing, since I am stuck in my house. So I recommend it. If you're not already playing it, it's a great escape. So I will see you back here for another episode, and please stay safe and stay indoors. Bye!